Hi, welcome back to Spirit's Path. This is Dee, and today we're going to look at the new moon in Cancer that happened yesterday, but I was a little busy trying to get this up and posted, so I'm gonna do it today. So I'm shuffling the cards. The new moon in Cancer looks at the as well as the solar eclipse that's going on in Cancer yesterday, called into question the ways in which your emotions may be blocking you from shining your light. So it's looking at the emotional aspect of, how you shine your light. How can you integrate your private self with your public self? We all look for that balance between work and privacy. So it looks at 6 questions. What new emotions are emerging for me? Where do I feel most vulnerable in my life right now? How can I create more emotional safety in my relationships? How can I nurture and care for myself? How can I create sacred space in my home? And cards are flying out all over the place. And we're going to do one more shuffle, and then we're going to start drawing the cards. And what is your highest intention for your emotional well-being? All right, this spread is brought to you by Biddy Tarot. So it's 6-card spread, as I said. What new emotions are emerging for me in this new moon in Cancer? And what pops out is 8 of Bows and Hearthfire. Where do I feel most vulnerable in my life right now? Where do I feel most vulnerable in my life right now? In this new moon in Cancer. Comes out the Page of Bows, Stoat. How can I create more emotional safety in my relationships? How can I create more emotional safety in my relationships? How can I create more emotional safety in my relationships during this new moon in Cancer? How can I create more emotional safety in my relationships during this new moon in Cancer? All right, shuffle them 3 times. Let's just take one card out. 5 of Bows, Empowerment. All Bows cards so far, so that's pretty significant in itself. That's fire energy. Yeah, that's fire energy coming out. So a lot of fire energy during this new moon of Cancer. How can I nurture and care for myself during this new moon of Cancer? That's way too many. King of Vessels comes up. How can I create a sacred space in my home during this new moon in Cancer? How can you create a sacred space in my home? How can you create a sacred space in my home during this new moon in Cancer? King of Arrows, Kingfisher. 3 court cards. And then what is your highest intention for your emotional well-being during this new moon in Cancer? What is your highest intention for my emotional well-being for this new moon in Cancer? Ace of Vessels, Water of Life. So there you have it, folks. So again, this reading is, about, it's calling into question the ways in which your emotions may be blocking you from shining your light. Let's just do something offhand, and, what's the general aspect of this reading? The Knight of Stones, the horse. Okay, so what that's telling me is what's calling into question the ways your emotions may be blocking you from shining your light is, maybe what's going on, and as a generalness, is, you are looking forward to that goal. You're looking forward to that quest with that Knight of Stones, okay? And as a result, that horse is going to carry you to success as you're moving forward. So, looking at the rest of the cards, that's the only stone materialism. But again, we've got 4 court cards with the King of Vessels, Page of Bows, and the King of Arrows, with that Knight of Stones. And this Knight of Stones has been popping up in a lot of the weekly readings as well. So, realize that, wherever you're going, okay, that this horse is going to carry you there. It's sure-footed. It's going to make sure you get to, the place you need to get to. And it's knights to me are negotiators as well as fighters. And this knight, is going to lead you on a quest. So you're on this quest, during this new moon in Cancer. And I think that's been evident within some of the readings that, I've done here the last couple of weeks, that, with the court cards that have come up, you're on a quest for whatever goal that is, and you've been getting a lot of advice from, kings and queens. So what new emotions are emerging for you right now? Okay, and that's coming up as that Eight of Bows Hearthfire. This is how you can integrate yourself with your private self and your public self. Okay, maybe what you're seeking is, after so many weeks of being kept indoors, so many weeks of being isolated, that, you're lacking that social activity. Okay, so this horse is going to carry you to a social activity to, help meet that need, to help meet that goal that you may have as you're going forward. Where do you feel most vulnerable in your life right now? Is that Page of Bows and that Stoic. Now, this is a messenger, okay, and he's going to, deliver a message to you, that Page of Bows. And it's going to be a message of action, whether that's an action towards, public event or a private event, to help get you out of the house, okay, with that, with that Hearthfire, and in combination with that Knight of Stones. So, this Page of Bows, the Stoic, is going to give you a message to where you are feeling most vulnerable in your life right now. And that's probably has to do with that. You know what? I'm not as active socially. I need to get back out there. And, looking at the emotions that may be blocking you from shining your light, maybe that's what that needs. Maybe you need that message, to come out and say, hey, you need to get back into your social routine, going out and having dinner with your friends on a Friday night, and just, letting your hair down, just, getting back into the swing of things, not being so afraid of, the COVID in the restaurants and stuff like that. I know for myself, I don't feel comfortable yet going into a public setting and having a meal. I've done it once and it didn't feel comfortable to me. And, it's just something that I'm going to have to move on with. So how can you create more emotional safety in your relationships? That's where that Five of Bows, that empowerment, comes up. Okay, and again, the first three cards is all fire energy. Okay, it wants you to be creative and going out there and meeting new friends and giving you that messenger, that message from that Stoic. And you can create more emotional safety in relationships by being empowered. Taking the time to just go out there and do it. Take advantage of it. Go out there and meet your friends. Maybe you don't have to be inside. Maybe it's a situation where, there's a patio out there, okay? And you could be out there on a patio just having a good time, still being, keeping your safe distance away, and, just enjoying the outdoors, okay? That's how you can help with, once you've made that decision to, I'm not going to let this bind me up and, keep me inside. I'm going to go ahead and move forward with, letting some of my feelings out and how I feel. And, by being empowered, that's a great opportunity to talk about, what's been pent up inside. So how can you nurture and care for yourself? That's that King of Vessels. The king of emotion, the king of psychic ability, okay? That's how you can nurture that. Look for that king for that guidance to, be able to, help empower you, right? Help empower you to move forward into that Hearthfire moment. That's how that can nurture and care for you, because you could look to him for the advice and he's going to give it to you, all right? He's also going to talk to you in your dreams. He's going to talk to you, in your intuition, and help you move forward in taking that block away to help your light shine between your private self and your public self. How can you create a sacred space in your home? That's represented by another king, the King of Arrows, the Kingfisher. And this king is all about, reasoning and logic. He's a straight shooter, so don't try to bluff him with anything, because he's going to see right through it. He's going to provide you with the best advice on how to find that sacred space in your home. Maybe that's in your office, 10, 15, 20 minutes a day, meditating. He's going to be able to talk to you to help integrate that private self and that public self. by creating that sacred space at home, by thinking about, possibly building a new room just for that, okay, where you can burn candles and burn incense and maybe practice some yoga. When you can find that sacred space where nobody's bothering you, no pets are bothering you, your significant other, your kids or whatever, you can find that and actually, let some of that emotion out into the universe, all right? And, release some of that blockage so you can shine your light. And what is their highest intention for the emotional well-being? And that's the Ace of Vessels, the waters of life. So here's a new opportunity, okay, a new beginning, to set that highest intention during this new moon in Cancer, during the solar eclipse, which is even more powerful, to set that intention and say, you know what, this is what I want from my emotional well-being. This is how I want to go forward, so I can, remove these blocks, so I can let my light shine, so you can integrate both that private self and your public self. Maybe you have been tied up too much in the house and, woe is me. Don't put that pity party on you. Take the opportunity, to get out and socialize. Get back to that Eight of Bows, that hearth fire, whether it's with family or whether with friends or loved ones, however it is. All right. So that's the message for the new moon in Cancer. Again, it's looking at ways which your emotions, could be blocking you from shining in light, and it's also integrating your private self. We talked about that Eight of Bows, that hearth fire moment. What new emotions are emerging for me? Get back out there in the public. Get back out there with your friends. Make some play dates, with people on a Friday or Saturday. Let your hair down. Listen to that message, to where you feel most vulnerable in your life right now. Okay, if you want to be protected, wear your mask. Wear your gloves. People are not going to be ashamed that you're out there in public doing those things. Just listen for that message to, allow you to go back out in public so you can, mesh that private self with your public self. Be empowered. That's where that Five of Bows comes in, to create that more emotional safety in your relationship. Know that it's all right to do that. Know that it's all right to schedule those play dates or, let your hair down if, while you're still feeling safe. You can nurture and care for yourself with that King of Vessels, that Heron, okay? And realizing that king, he's going to protect you for one, because that's what kings do. But he's also going to provide you that advice on how you can nurture and care for your emotional well-being a little bit more, to where, you can remove that block so you can shine your light and, integrate that private and public self together. The King of Arrows comes through too. Here you got two kings, the King of Vessels and the King of Arrows. Both kingly in their own rights. King of Arrows with, air, emotion, or air, reasoning, logic, okay? Showing you where you can create that sacred space in your own home, to help remove those blocks so you can shine your light, to help you look within, to have you face those answers, okay, to move forward, in integrating your private self and your public self. And then the Ace of Vessels, again, the new beginning of, whatever that highest intention is for yourself, for your emotional well-being. Look up to the stars, look up to the universe, and ask them, hey, what's in store for me? This is my highest intention. I want to get back out there and socialize. I want to, hear the message. I want to be empowered. I don't want to feel scared anymore. Okay. And as you begin to, rely on these two kings to pull, to move you forward, as well as the Page of Stones and the Knight of Stones to carry you, you're gonna see that your whole attitude changes, because now you are back out there. You are integrating your private self with your public self. Okay, you are taking that time and space, to create a sacred place for yourself, to help block those emotions out, and just say, what, let my light shine. Let my light shine. So that's a new moon in Cancer message. This is D for Spirit's Path. I hope you enjoyed the message. Hit that like button for me, subscribe to the channel, and we'll talk to you on the full moon coming up here in July. Again, this is D for Spirit's Path. Take care, God bless, and stay safe, everybody.